Okay, it actually worked. Unbelievable. We've got about a 7 or 8 second delay, but I'm just so pleased it worked this time. We tried this about a month ago, and it was wheels off, and for the first 18 minutes, and then I had to create a new room. We had all these people signed into the room. I had to move them over to the other room, and it was just a mess. But I really appreciate you guys, and I want to welcome you to this live chat. Now, what I'm going to do real quick is I am going to reach out to Christy. Here's the thing. As you know, Christy got furloughed from her job, her dream job. And so she's been trying to pick up work as she can. So we scheduled this. Christy and I went out and flew today, and I'll show you a little bit of some pictures from that. And then we were all set up for tonight, and she got called to go out on a citation trip. So she's actually going to try to come in to this chat and from the citation. Unbelievable. She's not in the air yet. That's why. Hold on. Here we go. All right, Christy, here you come. You are now with us. So
hey.
Now, here's the crazy thing. You're wearing a mask and I'm not.
That's because I'm in an airport right now.
Well, good. So, all right. So, Christy, how long will we have you here before you're going to have to be pulled away?
Probably for the next 20 minutes. We're about to start boarding, and then
Okay.
I'll be on the airplane, but I can still talk. I'm actually in first class, so I've got. Yeah,
I'll be
on
the
first.
I told everybody you were going to go fly the citation.
No. I bring it back tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay. So I totally messed up. So explain to everybody what's going on.
Oh, it's so typically in a contract trip, I will either go out on the plane and bring it back. Sometimes I deadhead out and then I bring it back the next day, which is what's happening here. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Sorry.
Okay,
I was
trying
to get fancy there and I messed up. All right. So, you and I were able to go out and fly today. And that was a lot of fun. So I have some of the pictures that I took. You took some too. But the Texas Snowmageddon is just about over. This was the 9th inning of Snowmageddon. So the picture that I've put up there for everybody is the takeoff from Denton, DTO. And you see the frozen wasteland that is North Texas. There's Christy and I flying. We've got a picture of the frozen Trinity River right by where the accident, the massive pileup that happened was real close to this spot right here.
Yes.
And so there's Christy flying a high wing, admitting that she likes high wings better than low wings. Is that right?
I never said that.
So anyway, that's a little bit updates from that. So Christy, while we got you and before we lose you, I'm going to go ahead. I had a whole bunch of stuff planned, but I want to go ahead and let's get the questions that people may have for you before if for some reason we were to lose you. So real quick, let's see. My help is it looks like we just lost her. My help is Matt Wells. Oh, you're here. Okay. I don't know if they can hear you because you went out of the room, but I can always translate. So, all right. So I'm going to go to the post that I made earlier today in the community on our YouTube channel and just take a look and see if we have any questions here. So right off the bat, so I'm going to read these blind. So if there's problems here, but we'll go with Parody Show down in Brazil, one of our super fans. Have you considered going in a different direction format or expanding what you cover on Taking Off and In the Hangar? I don't really have a suggestion, but if you consider trying anything new to increase your viewership, I think that your channel is unique and interesting, but seems to be just a North Texas channel instead of a national channel, or even international, I would add. Well, that's a great question. There are a lot of things that we'd try. And in the first season of In the Hangar, all the guests were North Texas guests. It's what I could do. But even as we look at this next round of in the hangar, we're going to be adding. There's going to be guests from all over. We've got a famous AMP coming in from Tennessee. We've got some people coming in from Virginia, and we'll get to that in a minute too. So we got people coming now from all over to be on the show. So it will give that more of a national feel. And Christy and I actually have some plans for some international guests. And one of Christy's favorite stories of all time is the landing on the berm, the dike in New Orleans for Taka. And so, the problem there is that I am fighting so hard to have no Zoom like videos. I really don't like doing this as a recorded thing. As a live format, this is great and this is fine. But I'm really trying to fight that. So that's just from my point of view. All right, so Christy, number one question that people have asked. So I asked this today in the plane, but let's hit it here. Number one question about the Wong Warrior being flown inverted. Here we go. People all over are asking, tell us their name. You got to protect us. You got to dox the guy. What's your response?
I will not do that.
And why?
I will not do that because I have been advised by a legal counsel and aviation lawyer that said it's just not a good idea. I mean, we're not going to gain anything from it. We're dealing with the issue in house. I know a lot of people want answers. They want his name and whatnot, but it's not worth it. What's done is done. I've already advised the local area flying clubs, flight schools, and rental businesses of who this person is. We have an unofficial blacklist. And so they've been made aware of the situation, but as far as putting his name out there, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. I mean, and I talked to a lawyer as well. There is a two-edged sword that we were really concerned about, and that is, we don't want this guy to go and kill other people with some other plane. So we do want to, but Christy did the right thing. She talked to the guy first, by the way, or you texted with him or communicated with him, but then you went to the FAA and you did report him so that the FAA can take care of it. Now the FAA is such a speed demon, and so they're so fast. As we know, I'm being very sarcastic. They are taking their time like they normally do. So nothing has happened yet. But in the meantime, Christy is doing what she can to protect the others in North Texas by reaching out and letting people know. So
that's correct. Yes.
Okay. So the next question, Christy, that we get a ton of, but that was number one. Number two is, surely you're not paying for all the inspections and all the work that's being done on your Warrior. Is the guy paying for it? That's what people want to know. Is he paying for it? What's your answer?
So that's the plan, is that we are working with his insurance. We do require all of our flying club members to carry insurance. And so we are currently working with his insurance in order to get that paid, get the inspections paid.
Okay. So it is going to come through his insurance and it's going to pay for all these inspections.
That's what we're working on. That's what we're hoping for. But the story is not over yet. We're still in process of getting through everything. So.
All right. Hey, here's a question, Christy. Somebody asked, which flight simulator would you recommend for practicing emergencies? And I haven't done a lot of flight sims other than the Redbird I did during my instrument training. I don't have anything at home or anything else. What would be your response to that?
I mean, honestly, any of those, any of those Redbird sims. Sorry. Any of those Redbird sims. I mean, even if you just have a home computer flight simulator, just going through the motions of what the different, what you should be doing, what you should be looking for, building that muscle memory. That's really what I would recommend.
One's and a term that I've heard you use a ton, chair flying. What is that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Chair flying. So basically what I do is I set up what I call a mock pit. Just something in front of me that's got the layout of the airplane. So I've got one for the 175. I've got one for the Learjet, one for the Citation. You put it up, and then that way you can go through emergency checklists, and you can reach up and actually, even though you don't have the levers to push or anything, you can still build that muscle memory of reaching up and pushing, pretending to push the buttons or whatnot.
Right.
So for those emergency checklists.
All right. Okay, so now you guys in the chat, let me see if you guys have any good questions here for us. Well, let's see. Carl Hancock was asking, what good would outing him do? Well,
one of these singles.
Carl,
It wouldn't.
it wouldn't do any. Well, the thing is that people were asking, we should be outing him. What's to protect the other people so they would know who the guy is, so that they wouldn't rent or lease their plane to him. I think that was the argument there. But the liability on you is significant. So it's just, you would have to burn yourself to do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
And not only burn yourself, you'd have to give him a win because he would sue you, or whatever. So
I mean, he might be able to, he might not. Either way, to me, it's just not worth it. I'm not going to lower myself to to his standards, basically, or to those standards.
All right. Chuck is asking, hopefully he's forthcoming with his responsibility for the repairs. How has his attitude been?
So I've had the club administrative board. I am the president of our flying club, but I've had the other club member or the other board members handling it on my behalf, just because it is so personal and emotional for me.
That's a good move.
So they've been, Matt Wells, he would be a good one to talk to because he's one of our flying club board members and he's been in direct contact with this individual.
Yeah, if Matt, I don't know if he's still working or not, or if he did a double split, but I don't see him right now and he hasn't responded. So usually I have Matt in here, but yeah, we'll ask Matt then if he's able to show up.
Sounds good.
Kevin Schaefer says, of course you were on a plane.
Yeah.
So, Helicopter. Yeah, he bought a T-shirt from us. Hello. Any scheduled appearance, fly-ins, air shows in 2021? Christy, what are your plans?
The Wong Warrior might be able to make an appearance now that it's an aerobatic pilot.
Yeah.
Or acrobatic or whatever.
Yeah, aerobatic, acrobatic. Which
is
a big
airplane.
thing.
We're not doing that. No, I can do chandelles to commercial standards.
There
and
you
power
go.
off 180s for you guys.
Yeah, but are you going to be? He's asking in terms of, are we going to be making any appearances at any of the fly-ins and air shows?
Yeah, I mean that's the plan. That's the goal. It's just really going to depend on everything, of course. So.
Yeah, and I still sitting here right now. I've never been to a major fly-in or air show.
Except Alliance. That was a good one.
Well, that was it. I'm sorry, air show. I haven't been to anything. I haven't been to a fly-in like Sun and Fun or Osh or anything big like that. The biggest fly-in I went to was that pancake breakfast where we first met face to face.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember that.
That is the biggest fly-in. ACCAs. I've done that now too. But eventually I'll start being able to tick these off and I won't be able to make the claim. I've never been to Osh. I've never been to Sun and Fun.
2021, Dan, you're coming.
I know. Are you going to go to Sun and Fun?
That's the plan.
Okay. So I don't know yet from me. And I do know that if we go, we'll probably be doing stuff at the Fly Guys booth for sure. And stuff like that. So you guys would be able to see us there. I think it's great that you're getting on a plane. I think it's awesome.
Dude, this is what I do. I just get on airplanes and fly around.
Yeah, but you're in the wrong seat, right?
I mean, I got a window seat. It's about as good as it's going to get at this time.
Yeah. I'm trying to go through some of the other questions. Here's an important question. Is your seatbelt in its upright position in tray stowed?
I'm in first class, so I'm actually at the bulkhead seat.
Well,
I don't have a tray
first class
table.
doesn't mean you get to pull that tray out and leave it in front of you.
Well, no, I'm just saying I don't have one, so at least not one that's easily accessible right now, so I'm good.
Derek had a follow-up question on the sim thing. How would I actually use my home sim by myself for effective training?
I mean, honestly, the hardest part about any of these airplanes is just knowing where everything is. So, especially in an emergency, it's you want to make sure that's what chair flying is all about. Where are the buttons? Where is everything? If I need to get to a circuit breaker, where is it going to be? If I need to get to an emergency button, if I need to get to the gear handle, if I need to get anywhere, where are those things going to be,
And you can
So,
create scenarios in your head and run through those scenarios.
exactly. We'll just go through the checklist too. So you'll have checklists, emergency checklists with, different things on them. Just go run through those checklists and, go through, see how quickly you can get through those. Chair flying is about figuring out where those things are at and then being able to go to them quickly when you need to.
Waukesha wants to know how much were all the inspections.
Right now, it's going to exceed about $5,000 at this point.
Yeah, I don't know if that's high or low. I mean, in the 210 world, I mean, if I got out of something with major work for 5,000, I'd be happy. But
yeah, well, this is just to make sure that everything's okay. You know what I mean? Just so that people can go in and hey, check this, check that. You know what I mean? It's a lot of money just to make sure that there's no damage to the airplane, basically, in my opinion. So,
Jack Visser asked, "What do you think of AOPA?"
I mean, they're all right with me.
Here's the thing, Jack. That is a great question, and we are going to answer that question in the hangar on this next season that we're about to shoot. And I'm going to give more info about that a little bit later in this live broadcast. So, Chrissy, how much longer do we have you?
Probably the next couple of minutes or so.
Okay. I'm scrolling through the comments real quick. Scooter, I had my ticket, but I haven't flown for 10 years. Now that I'm healthy, what would I need to do to get back in the left seat?
Go see a CFI for real. Like, absolutely go to a CFI, go get current, and then go get proficient.
Okay.
AOPA, speaking of, shout out, they do a Rusty Pilot program, and it's really, really good. So if you Google Rusty Pilot program, we actually did an episode on that as well with Pat Brown.
Yeah, so that's good. And some people say, you need so many hours for how many years you've been out. I don't know. I don't believe that because I think everybody's different.
Everybody's different.
So did Christy say she has a Cessna 175? No, I never heard that.
No, I've got I fly the Embraer 175 or a Cessna 172.
Oh, okay. Embraer 175. That's like a Cessna 175, kind of.
It's very similar.
So, all right. Chucky's saying you need a bigger window. She's in first class. Oh, is this like that? What are you on? What's your equipment?
Like, what am I on?
Yeah, what plane? Not like drugs.
I'm on a 175.
Oh, it is a 175. Okay. I missed that. All right. Okay, I'm scrolling through real quick here. Chrissy will probably give you a lift to Sun and Fun. I'm not going into Wong Warrior. Not that far.
Dude, hater.
I love Sweet Caroline. But not for I'd rather be in Lola. Honestly, I'd rather be in Lola for a long cross country.
In the Warrior. It's a wonderful 8-hour flight.
I went from Fort Worth right after I got my IFR ticket. I went from Fort Worth, my first longest thing, in a 172 to Lexington, Kentucky.
That sounds amazing, actually.
I had a direct headwind coming back, and
Love it.
Going out there was like 6 hours. Coming back was 10. It was
pretty that's some good
significant.
time building experience.
It was my first big trip. I won't ever forget it. Okay, Glenn has a fair question here. Does this whole situation, Christy, with your Wong Warrior being flown inverted, make you nervous bringing new people on board into the flying club?
It doesn't. Overall, we've got a really great caliber of people. So.
Was there someone who left their bag on the bridge?
Dan, I'll come back to your question about the overhaul because that doesn't relate to Christy. I'm trying to get all Christy's questions here before she goes out.
Red ballet tag. Please bring your flight to the callback.
Somebody else said.
Anyone?
Does Christy say she has a Cessna
blue belly bag, blue duffel bag,
That's
red
funny.
tag on it.
No, those are the airplanes with the geared engines. So.
Terry says, Christy, would you feel comfortable landing the plane you were on in an emergency?
Yes.
Yeah, so the plane, the
I am
175,
type-rated.
you were type rated in this plane.
Okay.
And you told them all, right? All right, so we're gonna lose you now.
I have already. Yeah, they all know.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, Christy, are we losing you now?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for you are a trooper. Thanks for coming in and answering these questions while you could, and we wish you the best, safe travels. Enjoy your first class.
Thank you. Love you guys and stay safe. Stay warm.
All right. Stay warm. All righty.
All right.
So that's it.
Bye,
Christy.
everyone.
Okay, so that was our one and only Christy, who is in first class. All right, so going through with more of the questions, Daniel's asking me how much is the overhaul going to cost me? Probably 25 to 30 grand is what the cost will be on my side for the overhaul, which is probably about a half to 2/3 of a normal overhaul cost. And for those that don't know, I had a prop strike. Insurance pays for the removal of the engine, the tear down of the engine, the inspection of the engine, and if there was anything wrong because of the prop strike, they would cover that. But they take it apart. I'm only 200 hours or so from TBO. I'd had a top overhaul 350 hours ago. I was hoping to get another 1,000 hours, but that's not going to happen. So I have decided in the last video, if you guys saw that, I'm biting the bullet and I'm going to, I don't know, sell everything I have or whatever I've got to do to try to make that work. All right, so that's what's going on with that. Let's see. Dan, did I get the gyro endorsement? I got the gyro endorsement like 4 years ago. So I fly gyros. It's been a while. I did a refresher recently, and I'm looking forward. I'll probably be flying a gyro pretty quick here. If I wasn't so busy at work, which is good, it helps pay for that overhaul that I was just talking about. If I wasn't so busy at work, then I'd be flying the gyro more. So, but not yet. All right. So, all right. So I can't get through all the questions real quick here. Okay. So, all right. So I don't lose you guys. Let me move on. So I wasn't going to do questions originally right at the top, but I knew I was going to lose Christy. So we went to that. I wanted to welcome you guys. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was community, and Christy hit on it. Man, we are so blown away by the aviation community. The support and that you guys show is amazing. I will tell you, I look forward to seeing your comments. I look forward to responding them. I've gotten kind of somewhat to know you as much as we can through social media interaction. The Smitties, the Daniels, the Jonathan Chrisman, all you guys parody show down in Brazil. And I don't even have to talk Portuguese. The community of aviation is awesome, and that part of what we do is really what brings kind of the warm and fuzzies to this whole thing. So I just want to say thank you guys, and I would hope and I would encourage you to also go and support some of the other aviation channels that you like. I mean, don't support them if you don't like them. I'm not asking you to do that. But here's the deal. You hear us on YouTube talk about, click that subscribe button. What that does, the whole thing is this. You're wanting YouTube to recommend your video when somebody's watching another show. And they want you, and you're hoping they click on your video in the recommended. You can share your video with your friends. You can post your video on Facebook. But if YouTube starts putting it up there, that's where instead of 10 views or 100 views, you can get to the 1,000 or 10,000. I mean, that's really what the deal is. So some of the factors that YouTube takes a look at is how many subscribers does this channel have? More importantly, on a specific video, if YouTube's going to recommend it, how many likes does this video have? And how many comments. Now, when somebody likes and makes a comment, it's a force multiplier. So if you like it and make a comment, the YouTube bots look at that and go, ooh, that must be really important. And so they kind of move you more, up there as far as recommending it. So that's kind of how that works. So on that, please, if you haven't gone to people like Brian Turner and Just Plain Silly, go there, subscribe, like and comment on his videos. And you guys have been an amazing community. And I bet you, out of everybody in the room, what do we got? We got 150 some odd right now. Probably 140 of you are subscribed to Brian as well. But if you haven't, go there and subscribe. It's a big, huge help to us all. Okay, I'm just going to scroll way past a whole bunch of stuff because I've missed it. Okay, Corvair Chris, yeah, we got to do that. I want to fly your F-16, absolutely. And that one kind of, I get a little bit of a twinge on that one because, somebody had just a couple months ago was inviting Christy and I to go up to the air base in Missouri where all the 303rd A-10 fighter squadron was, to go through their simulators, get tour, sit in it, blah, blah, blah. We were really looking forward to that, and that was my buddy Mike who died in that extra 300 crash. So yeah, it'd be awesome if we can. One of my dreams is to fly an F-16. I actually tried to talk. We had the PR officer, Captain Jessica, on in the hangar, and I really tried hard to get her to let me ride on the two-seat version of the F-16. But anyway. Okay, so now let me move on from some questions. I'll go back to some questions if I happen to see them in the chat. But let's now go to In the Hangar. In a week and a half, is it? March 5th, 6th, and 7th, we're going to be shooting our next season. For those who don't know, the way we shoot our season of In the Hangars, I try to get them all done in a 2 to 3 day period. So our goal is 30. So we shoot anywhere between 25 to 35 episodes in that weekend. It's grueling, but it's a lot of fun. The sad thing this time is that we're not going to have a studio audience. And again, going back to that whole thing about the aviation community, the energy we draw from a studio audience with you guys there is huge, and it's definitely going to be missed. But with COVID and stuff like that, we do have some guests that are concerned about that, as well as myself, which if you've watched any of the videos, you kind of know where my feeling is on that. So we're not going to have a studio audience, unfortunately. So, but with that, I do want to talk about some of our guests that have agreed to be on. Somebody asked about, is Aopa worth it? And that's one question I see a lot in social media. So I wanted to do a show that answers that question. I reached out to AOPA. I call it Aopa, but it's AOPA. I reached out to them to see if we could get Mark Baker to come on and talk to us. And I'm going to ask him some questions that a lot of you guys have been wondering and want to ask. So Mark Baker, president of AOPA, will be on In the Hangar coming up in a couple of weeks. So we're super excited about that. In addition to that, Richard McSpadden, who's the executive vice president of the Air Safety Institute there, we're going to have him on, and I'm going to do a show just with him, because I'll tell you, as a brand new student 6 years ago now, I just binged watched all the air safety videos that were on YouTube, especially the accident case studies. Those videos are awesome. They're amazingly well done, and I learned so much from those. So I'm really looking forward to having Richard on too. So, Waukesha, do we change clothes between episodes? Actually, Christy and I do. I'll usually maybe wear the same shirt for 2 episodes, and then I'll go change into another shirt. Usually it's just a shirt, but yeah, I do that. So if you go and watch all the In the Hangars from last early March all the way to December, you'll see those were all shot almost exactly a year ago, late February of 2020, right before COVID hit. So yeah, we shot all those same time. So that means the Dan Bass story all the way through to painting your airplane, all those were done at the same time. A few people know that Brian taught Mark Baker. Yeah. So some other people we're going to have on. One of our most watched videos is the Joe Casey explanation on skids and slips, skids versus slips. He has a visual for that that's just amazing. Now, for those that don't know, Joe Casey was my DPE on my CFI check ride. And he's truly amazing. And I've loved having him come out and be on the show. And so what I've asked him to do, because I saw a video of him long before the Kobe Bryant crash, talking about spatial disorientation, the somatographic illusion, and he's got an incredible demonstration for that. So I've asked Joe Casey to come out and do an episode on spatial disorientation. And I think it'll be really, really good. Not only, the Kobe Bryant, but for those who watched, we had Mark and Mark and Mike Patey's wives. We did an episode with them. And Mark's wife, Susie, had an incredible, scary spatial disorientation story that'll keep you riveted to your seat. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you go and search in our channel, search for Patey Wives, and watch it, because it is absolutely worth it. I'm hoping the Pateys come back and they're on. So right now it's looking good. You never know. We've got some other YouTubers that we're hoping to come. One for sure will be Martin Pauly will be coming back, and we're really looking forward to talking with Martin Pauly. And we're not going to be able to have the awesome episode that we had with all the YouTubers on at one time. I'm limiting the number of people on an episode to 4. So that's what we're going to do. And one person that, speaking of YouTubers, one person that I really would like to hope he comes and is in the show is a guy named Brian Turner.
Hey, Dan, what's going on?
How was your dinner?
It was good. I'm just hanging out here in my favorite shirt, trying to stay warm while it's cold out. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, and we're going to talk about your favorite shirt in just a bit.
Oh, it's very
now we're talking about In the Hangar, and we're talking about.
That's a good show.
It is a good show, and one thing that I have found when we do 35 shows in a weekend, my brain turns to mush. Christy's brain turns to mush. We really need help. So at the AC, goodness, what did you just do? Your hand is in focus, but your face, that's probably better, Brian. It's probably better that you're out of focus.
I have no idea what I did.
What you did is you hit there's an auto sensor where, anyway, I don't know. Yeah, touch it I don't. Brian, what did you do?
I'm going to unplug it and plug it back in.
Yeah, you're going to have to do something. So, well, I don't know. This is going to be like one of those, we can't say your name on screen.
Dan's doing this on purpose, guys. This is what happens when I'm on a show.
You know what, though? The focal point is right up against that. So if you move your face, oh, there we go.
I won't move.
So anyway, Brian, don't touch the camera.
Like a kid in the 80s with the TV antennas.
I was saying, our brains turned to mush. And what we learned at the ACCAs is we dropped Josh Flowers into the host seat for a special guest host. And we're going to do that this time if you would not go on vacation and come in.
That wasn't uncomfortable at all. So when you did that at the ACCAs, it was like, hey, Brian, how would you like to try? I'm like, I don't even know what we're doing. Just having to just ad-lib. So, yes, I will. I'm almost 100% certain I'll be available for the Friday portion. The other 2 days I'll be in Missouri.
All right. Well, we'll take whatever we can get.
I appreciate it.
So, have you thought about what you're going to do for your episode?
That's your job.
All right. So I think I'm going to pair you up with somebody from the FISDO.
If you got them, I'd love to talk to them.
Yeah.
They're not returning my calls.
Well, it's the San Antonio FISDO. Is that okay?
That's fine.
So for those who get that one. All right. So Brian, that's some of the guests. We are going to have Josh come on, and I'm going to have Josh be a special guest host, and he's going to do a show. He's actually picking his topic. You don't have to pick yours. It's okay. I do have an announcement to make, a special deal. I am so pleased to announce that we do have a couple of new sponsors for In the Hangar. It really is great, and it helps us. And our main title sponsor for season 5 of In the Hangar is Gold Seal.
Really?
Groundschool.com. Yeah, no, you had no idea, did you?
No idea.
So we are super, super excited. Brian, you've known Russ and the guys at Gold Seal a lot longer than I have.
Yeah.
What's been, how did you get involved with Gold Seal?
So I'm friends with the owner of the company from some online forums. We go way back to like 2013, 2014. He knew I was a software engineer, and so he asked me if I would help him beta test this software where he was doing this online ground school. And so I said I'd be happy to do it. So I did this software testing, and then I thought, well, if we really want to test it, I should probably go take the test. And so I took the test and I passed it. Then it expired, and I used the software. And I took the test again and passed it. So I've gotten 2 instrument written tests passed with the Gold Seal software. So the cool thing about them, they're really good at what they do and how they present the information and how each piece builds on the other piece. But also, if you have a problem, you can call them. Like they're not just there to like help you pass your written and be done. Like I call Russ, I'm like, hey man, I got a question about VORs or about whatever, and he'll talk to me and explain it to me or whatever. But he's like, they're not there just to
because you're sponsored and you have a relationship with him, or is somebody going to call and possibly get Russ? You can.
I don't know if you'll get Russ, but you can call them and email them or whatever throughout and have questions and talk to them. Anybody can. They're really fantastic about that. It's not just here, pass your written, next kind of thing like that. But it's really, really awesome. So I like it. And I'm full transparency. I've used several courses, and I like this one. This is the one that I'll continue to use if I ever get past the actual written flying portion and go on to other ratings. I'll use them for other ones as well.
Well, the thing I love about Gold Seal is the graphics and animation that the team that Russ has doing that stuff are great. I work in video film. I have animators. Looking at the quality, it really helps me understand, what's happening when the wind's blowing this way and the plane's crabbing this way. When you can do really good 3D animations that show that, I think it's huge in education. So, I've looked at their stuff. Actually, I've been looking at it for quite some time. Really impressed with it. I wish I was going through my private again, because I would certainly use groundschool.com, Gold Seal for my stuff.
Yeah, they do private, they do instrument, commercial, they do drones. Like if you want to get your, I forget what that 407, whatever it's called, you can do that one as well. They do a lot.
They actually don't do instrument yet. I think you're on a beta thing or something with them.
You didn't mean to say instrument.
Well, he's already announced that it's coming. I saw that public.
You just said instrument. He does. I am doing the instrument.
Right. I don't think that's available yet.
Oh, is it not?
I don't think
so.
Am I
still special?
If not, okay. So how many are seeing this? Everybody kind of keep it on the down low, okay? Pretend like we didn't say that. All right. So anyway, I just wanted to say thanks, Brian, and we are now we've got mutual sponsors. We're really looking forward to partnering with Gold Seal. Yeah. Christy and I are real big about quality sponsors and people that we would use. Obviously, we're not doing our private again, but I've gone through their materials long before I did this, and it's quality stuff. I wouldn't do it otherwise.
Yeah.
So, all right, Brian, anything you want to say to the flying community?
Hello, flying community. I hope you guys are able to fly. I'm going to go fly tomorrow for the first time in a while because the snow and ice and stuff. I went out and looked at where I fly out of the runway. They're not going to scrape it off. They're just going to let it melt off. So I haven't been able to get up. So I don't know. Going to go flying around. I hope you guys all get to go flying. So, but we're good here. I didn't have very many power issues. We had some frozen pipes, but a lot of people had it really tough. But I think aside from, I went to the grocery store today and it's empty. But other than that, things are trending the right direction.
Yeah, I don't think the trucks have been running very much. I was supposed to get the T-shirts that I've been selling the pre-orders. Those were supposed to be in like 4 days ago, but the trucks aren't running.
Really?
By the way, Jonathan Christman says that the IFR is live right now. So maybe I'm wrong. So that's great.
If I can say one thing about the Gold Seal thing that I think is cool. When you sign up, you'll be taking your test, and there's a bank of like 800 questions, and the algorithm figures out what you're good at, what you're weak at. And there's a leaderboard where you can see where you rank against the other people currently taking it. So me and a friend enrolled at the same time, and that competition was pretty motivating when I could see she was beating me. Oh yeah, it's really cool. And so once you do the last question to get your sign off, it'll say congratulations on leaderboard. Brian Turner just earned his sign off to take the written. And so, but we were like middle of the night, like, I'm not going to let you beat me. It's that competition at leaderboard, very, very motivating. It's a cool idea. So anyway.
All right. Awesome. All right. Well, Brian, thanks for making the effort to get here and get in here. I know that you were, doing the dinner thing, and you cut it short. You told the waiter you're just going to have to walk this check, and you came out to be on the show. And I
said your name and they understood.
Yeah. Yeah. So any pizza place is going to know my name. Just saying. All right, Brian. Thanks. I'm gonna hide you here.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. So we have another major sponsor, and I want to make that announcement. So joining us in the room, I'm going to bring in Brolin from iFly GPS. Brolin, you are on.
That's me. So, howdy, guys. How's it going?
Going well. So iFly GPS is an electronic flight briefcase, or what's the B stand for?
Yeah, so it's an electronic flight bag. I just call it basically like the Waze for airplanes.
Yeah. So, and there is another electronic flight bag thing out there that maybe started like you guys and was like this private kind of like, this is cool, let's do this. But they are now one of the biggest global corporations in existence today.
Exactly.
And we know that global corporations just don't care about us little guys.
Absolutely not. I mean, it was great whenever it was small and nimble like us, but unfortunately, all great things end up getting bought out by Boeing, as we can see with our friends at McDonnell Douglas, right?
Right. Everything gets gobbled up into the big thing. Well,
exactly.
And so you got iFly is it's not as expensive as the other guys. It's in some regards, it's not they don't have all these, or you don't have all these different pricing levels to really gouge you for this or that. Explain a little bit about what people could expect if they were to join the iFly GPS family.
Yeah. So one of our major attributes is that if you pay for our app, if you have our service, we're going to be there for you. If you have our VFR service, you're going to be able to get every feature right out of the box. We work on Androids, we work on iOS, we work on Windows. We're the only EFB for like a Windows Surface tablet.
Wow.
And yeah, it's pretty neat. And kind of like what Brian was saying earlier, we're one of the few companies where if you pick up the phone and give us a call, I will probably answer the phone. So it's really neat. We're in the middle of a huge project. We're revamping a whole lot of things with our new app, and it's really exciting. And we're really excited that we get to be joining forces here.
Quite a few people in the chat use iFly. One person is asking, are you going to add weight and balance?
Absolutely.
To the flight plan? Okay,
absolutely.
So that is coming. I'm sure they'll be excited for that.
Yes, sir.
So a couple people have the 740.
The 740B. That's that's our dedicated hardware. So you can actually panel mount that if you would like in your aircraft, as long as it's an experimental. It's fantastic. You can hook it up to an autopilot, and we try to deliver the best value out there in aviation. And honestly, you truly can't beat it as compared to our friends at Garmin or anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, it's truly the best in the business.
Yeah, I'm excited for this partnership, and I've just in a short time have been using it. There's a lot of things that I like about it, and the thing about Boeing too is that, it's just you're paying out the nose for all these kind of things, and maybe there's one little piece in there that you really like and want to use, and so you have to pay for this exorbitant level. And I like you guys, how nimble you are, and how you guys are in touch with the general aviation community in a big way.
Absolutely. I mean, I appreciate you saying that. That's one thing that, we try to keep at the core of what we have with our company is we like to keep things simple. We like to be innovative, but at the same time, we just need to make sure that it's a good navigation app, that it's stable, right? As
Right.
opposed to all these cool, parlor tricks, we just want to make sure that what you get is quality. We have a lot of cool stuff coming down the pike, and it's one of these things where we're going to be at Sun and Fun, we're going to be at Oshkosh. I'm really stoked for what 2021 has, because Lord knows that 2020 has been a really rough year for a lot of us. So here's to having a great 2021.
Agreed. Now, I almost didn't bring you into the room, because I will tell you I am from Austin. I bleed
man.
burnt orange. So I guess if we'd found this, maybe we wouldn't sponsor. I don't know. No, it's all good. Somebody is asking, is this Texas based?
Absolutely. So we're here in DFW. We're actually based at McKinney Airport. If you ever want to come, I can show you whatever cool airplane is in the hangar in my office at the moment. We can just lust after it with absolute, disregard to whoever's looking at us through my window. But yeah, we're local. We're all airplane dorks, as I say. We're all pilots. That's one of the cool things about our app is, all my software engineers, we're all pilots, or we're getting our ticket. I've had my own airplane. My colleague has his own airplane. One of my other colleagues in the middle of buying an airplane. This is our passion project. This is, as close to a dream job as you can get for all of us here. So we're really excited to join with you and Christy and see where this thing goes.
We are too, and we can't wait. And we're going to try some of the different things that you guys offer. So we're going to put the 740B hopefully in mind. We're also going to, the other thing is, you guys play really nice with others. You can't say that about Garmin.
Absolutely.
I mean, Garmin does not play nice unless you're a Boeing. But
yeah.
They have a big boys club. They don't want anybody in, whereas you guys play nice with others. So, we're looking at level with they have the bomb that a lot of people love. You guys integrate seamlessly with that.
Absolutely. We have a bunch of instruments in iFly that you get right out of the box that work with the bomb, and all the cool innovations that Level has done with them through their pedostatic, and you can get angle of attack and all sorts of just really neat stuff that I hate to say, if we were one of our competitors, if we were Boeing, that would be behind a huge paywall and not a whole lot of people would be able to use it out of the box. But yeah, so iflygps.com/takingoff is where you can find us. And we'll be posting there a lot. We're also active on all of our socials at Adventure Pilot.
All right, so you're going to see a lot more of iFly GPS on this channel. Brolin, thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, thanks for having me, Dan.
All righty, bye-bye.
See ya.
All right, so we're very excited about this. We're very excited about these two new sponsors. In addition to that, Wingfield Aviation will still be involved, and Flying Eyes is still heavily involved in us. So we love our current sponsors, and we love our new incoming sponsors as well. CAPS, one word for 10% off, and it helps us. So we appreciate it. Okay. So now I've given you the update on what's happening within the hangar. We talked with Christy. We're able to get some updates on her Wong Warrior and the two most burning questions I see in all the comments. And now I want to open it up to you guys and answer any other last questions. We've done really good with our time here. So, I'm going to scroll in here and just see. It's finishing up with the iFly stuff, but if you've got some questions, type them in right now and I'll do my best to answer them. And then while you're doing that, I'll give you an update on Snowmageddon in Texas. It's pretty much over today. We finally went above freezing for the first time. Now, you look around, you look at the photos that I showed, you're thinking, wow, Texas, that's really bad, but that's just like, that's a Thursday in North Dakota. I get it, but the problem is down here in Texas, we don't have the equipment. We don't have the plow trucks. We don't use salt. That's why our vehicles don't have to be, sent to the whatever they're sent to after 10 years up north. So we don't use salt. We have a little bit of brine mix. We have a lot of sand, which then pelts out your headlights throughout the next 6 weeks. But anyway, we don't have the equipment. And what really, really made Snowmageddon worse, we get an ice storm every other year or so, and it lasts a day and a half. What happened here is that we had some of the coldest temps that we've ever had for a sustained time. Put a huge energy drain on the system, and people were without power, not for a couple of hours like they first thought. People were without power for days. My office manager for S Films, she didn't have power, but every now and then they'd get it for 15 minutes and be gone again for like 3 days. I mean, she never had internet. The phones, when she tried to call, those were over jammed and she couldn't get out. There were people whose houses, their ambient temperature inside their house was in the 30s, and it was a real situation. You had townships that were having water problems, and we're telling everybody here in Dallas-Fort Worth, you had City of Arlington, the third biggest after Dallas and Fort Worth, was telling their residents to boil their water. So, I mean, things were looking really, really bad, and as of like yesterday. But as of this morning, ERCOT came out and said there are no more blackouts from them. Now, there are people without power from down power lines and things like that. So the crisis is pretty much over as far as Texas is. And I know that you look at it and go, gosh, that's just a dust covering of snow. But no, we had a lot of ice, and it was underneath that dust covering of snow. And Texans, honestly, I love us. I'm a Texan. I'm from Austin. Cannot drive in ice. I mean, or they cannot drive if ice is in their view 600 feet over there. They're going to slow down to 20 miles an hour and cause wrecks because they're scared of it. So it's not a good situation at all. All right, so now I'm going to go here and yeah. So Smitty says, like in Maine, them having a 105-degree day, it would freak all the Maine people out. Absolutely. So all right. Awash says, Dan, if I were to get a plane, say a Cessna 150 or 172, what should I look for when doing a pre-buy? Here's what I would look for: a really good A&P to do your pre-buy. So there are things that you can do if you're really, really experienced. Like if you've owned a 150, if you've owned a 172 for years and you've done this and that, then I would say, yeah, maybe. But an A&P is going to know precisely. So go to Wingfield and use one of his guys, or Effinger if he'll do it. Go to somebody who knows what to look for, because each plane, each model, and each year that they're made has specific things that can cause you a bunch of heartache down the road, and they know what to look for. So my thing, what to look for in a pre-buy: look for a good A&P. So yeah, nobody has winter tires. Not down here in Texas. Pipe sweating. I have no idea, Blair Cooper, what that is. I don't know why you would sweat a pipe. Okay. I'll tell you this, fortunately, I was really fortunate. I never had my power in my house here go off. However, I've got a bathroom that's on the outside wall, or borders the outside wall. I opened the cabinets, and the toilet, which is in the corner, the closest to the outside, it stopped flowing. So I knew it was frozen in the wall. And I didn't have any other space heater. So I went up into my attic because I thought we had one from 20 years ago, this little thing. And I found it. I took it into the bathroom and I ran it, and it melted. It took a couple hours later, the toilet was working. So I was very, very fortunate over the whole thing. Yeah, so pipe sweating equals copper soldering. Okay, that's still, I don't get it. All right. Derek Manning says, is In the Hangar planning on having multiple segments in the future with Joe Casey? And when can I get an In the Hangar t-shirt, hoodie, and hat? Okay, great questions. First of all, if you weren't here 30 minutes ago when I was talking about who we're going to have, Joe is going to come back and talk about spatial disorientation. I'm also going to have him talk about another thing too. He goes up and volunteers his time with a missionary pilots organization, a school out in Alaska once a year to give check rides and stuff for them. Phenomenal thing. And I'm going to have him talk about that. I gave him some of my GoPros when he went in August, and so we'll have some footage for that. So yes, multiple episodes with Joe Casey. He's just phenomenal. In another life, if I was just starting out and I was a young man and I just got my pilot's license and commercial pilot's license, I would try to go to work for Casey Aviation, no doubt. So, all right, In the Hangar t-shirt, hoodie, and hat. All right. All right, guys, here's the deal. So you see the t-shirt. As most of you know that are in here, I think, most of you guys are fans, the ones I'm seeing the names. You probably have already ordered the Taking Off shirt. I'm doing a pre-order right now too. But I wanted quality. I had ordered other t-shirts from like the YouTube partners off of like some of our friends' other channels, Brian Turner. So when I got the shirt from the Google YouTube partners, the shirts weren't very good quality, and that really bothered me. So I went to my favorite t-shirt in my closet. I looked at the label, and it was a shirt called Comfort Colors. When you wash it, it gets prettier. So as the color fades, it looks even better. And I thought, that's the shirt I'm going to have. It's high quality. These things are thick. For any of you in the chat who have one of our shirts, tell me what you think. Am I just the only one that thinks this? I love this t-shirt. So anyway, because of that, I'm bootstrapping all the merchandise. So I go out and buy it myself, and then I stock it in the shelf, and I'm sending out, I think I've sent out pretty much everything that I think my production manager, the one who lost the electricity, she's maybe sent out one or two, but the rest of them have all been me. So it's a big risk. If I have to, I just did this big order for the new t-shirts that are coming in, and it scared me. Now, you guys, I announced the pre-sale because I just wanted to get some money in to know that I'm not going to lose my shirt on this. And you guys responded pretty good. And I'm still not quite at the level I want to be at, but we're getting close. And if I were to now go get In the Hangar t-shirts, In the Hangar hoodies, hats, it's just a lot of money. And I'm looking at that, I've got that engine overhaul coming up and everything else. So it's a bit scary for me, because I decided to do it this way. Now, I could go to the YouTube route, just set up a store, and it'll be right there underneath when you watch my videos, and you can easily click, and I'd probably sell more. But I just don't want to do that because the quality is just horrible. I will do In the Hangar shirts. Somebody was really wanting me to do a pocket t-shirt. I don't know if I could do that. I just don't know if I can do that. To me, it's just, no, I don't know. I want to do hats. By the way, when I did this big order, the one that's coming in for pre-order, I looked into hoodies, sweatshirts, and they could not get them in. January is not the time to ask for that. I should have had the foresight to look into that in the fall. So maybe next summer or fall, I'll kind of stock up and try to do this better. Anyway, that's the story on that. Hey, I'll deliver to Brazil. Somebody from Switzerland ordered a shirt. So I sent it if I can send it to Switzerland, I can certainly send it to Brazil. So you get on there and you order it. I made a special tab just for you that you add the shirt to the deal. Then you also have to add the item international shipping to the deal, and I'll send you a shirt. So there you go. Yeah, so the hoodies won't happen this winter. It'll have to be a next year thing. So on patches. Well, if I get a whole bunch more sponsors, we could do kind of like a NASCAR thing. Anyway, yeah, hand deliver. Yeah, we need to do that. I would love nothing more than to take Lola on a trip from Fort Worth down through Mexico, Central America, the northern part of South America, and go all the way down to you and drop off your shirt. To me, that would be epic. I would love to do that. So anyway, and then Stavo says, greetings from Germany. I'm so glad you guys can be here. I would really like to build the international audience even more. So, yeah, Jesper, you're the one that wants the one with the pocket. I don't know if I can do a pocket. So, all right. Any other real questions? The merch was a real question. Scooter asked about engine overhaul. I answered that at near the beginning of tonight, so I won't go back into that. All right, so we're sitting here just right at an hour, so that's pretty good. Any last things anybody has, I'll answer. Is a 182 and Lola similar? Similar, yeah. The 182 is a 4-seater. The Lola is a 210, which is a 6-seater. When the 210 was created by Cessna in the late 50s, they took a 182 as their base and extended it, made it bigger. And then eventually, as the 210 grew in model years, they would change it and do different things. So it's today, the 210 is fairly significantly different than the 182. The wings are different. There's more space and all that. So that's what's different. Jesper, I've not seen anybody. Okay, I see one person saying pockets are great for cigarettes and half pints. So that's the only person I see. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I'm scared that I'm going to do it. Okay, so I ordered a bunch of the pilots are always right. I thought it was funny. I thought it was clever. I thought people would buy that more than these T-shirts. And I have been left holding a bag on that stock. So I've dropped the prices and everything. But so that's the scary part of kind of bootstrapping and doing it yourself. And I guess that's why I'm a little hesitant to go out and do some different things. But you never know. So is the 177 a Cardinal a good beginner aircraft? It's a better beginner aircraft than a 210. I'll tell you that. The Cardinal is a good airplane. If there's two different kinds of 177s, you can get the ones that have fixed gear and you can get the ones that have retract. And when I knew I was going to get a 210, I couldn't rent a 210. I could rent a Cardinal with retract, and that gave me complex time, which helped in my insurance. And the Cardinal is good, fast. Yeah, I think it's a great plane. It's a little bit more sportier than say like a 182. But our friend Matt Wells is looking at getting one. So, all right. What about getting underwriters? That's actually not a bad idea. I've thought about that before. So, yeah, well, what if I got, if I got like METAR AF as an underwriter, and we could put a little METAR AF, circle or something on a baseball cap with taking off or in the hangar. Yeah, I've thought about that. That's not a bad idea. I'm just probably not quite there yet, but I think it's a good idea. A PA-32. Okay, Jonathan. Yeah, and I respect the low wing, especially, we got Christy who might see this later. I love my high wing. I respect the low wing. I will tell you, don't tell Lola this, but if I were to go up and get a different plane, it might be the Malibu. And really what I want is a Meridian, because I would love a plane with a PT6. That's my dream. So, yeah. Well, METAR AF is a little less family friendly. Really? AF stands for Air Force, right? But anyway, okay, guys, I really could chat with you guys for a long time. I don't like doing like Zoom kind of things. As you know, I've had some people that we invited to be in the hangar coming up. They were willing to do it if we did it virtually. I'm not there yet. I don't like doing the virtual talk shows. So that's probably not, I'm going to really resist that as long as I can. And with hopefully, COVID kind of taking a back seat, let's hope, maybe things will start to open up. But anyway, great chat, guys. Oh, Matt finally gets here, sort of. He's probably in the tower running both ground and the skies and logging in here. But we missed you, Matt. I talked a lot about the stuff that I'll bring you in next time we catch up on it. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much. Remember what I said. Go to those other channels and like and comment on those videos. A like plus a comment is a force multiplier for helping the people that you like out there on YouTube. So, guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys around. We got some new shows coming up, and I appreciate all your support. Take care, everybody.